Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're in October, and our corn is ready to be harvested. I'm surprised. I didn't think it'd be ready until the month of November, but here we are. It is ready. And if we take a look, you can see it is at 17.5%. So that is absolutely perfect for getting this harvested here. So I've got the combine out here. We've got the 7210 already hooked up to the gravity wagons out here. And I've also already done my morning chores, checked on all of the animals. They're all doing very, very well. So we've got a busy month ahead of us here. We've got to get this crop harvested. We've got lime to put down, cultivating to do, maybe even some fertilizing to do. So we've got a lot ahead of us. But we're going to go ahead and start by getting this corn harvested. So we'll get this combine fired up, get the head drop down. And I have the extended crop swath on, so we will be able to bale up our corn stalks. And moving forward here, that is the only crop that we will be baling stalks off, or baling up for bedding here. I won't be doing the wheat or the oats. That's not really something that gets done in this neck of the woods, so we're going to try and keep this mostly realistic here, as realistic as we can, here on our old school series. So we're going to be running this corn here and then baling up our stalks when we're done. So this shouldn't take too long, and I will catch up with you guys when we're finished. Alright, we're getting our second gravity wagon filled here, and this will be our first load back to the bin site. And with the amount of grain we have, or amount of acres we have left, there's probably going to be 2 more gravity wagons, maybe a little bit more than that. So I'm pretty happy with that. Looks like, maybe somewhere around 40,000 liters. Yeah, I can't complain about that, not one bit. And we'll get these back to the grain bins here, get them emptied, and get back out here and finish combining. So as I'm unloading here, these gravity wagons are working out really well, except I have one issue. They don't trip the trigger to load out of here. So I can put the grain into the bins, but I can't get the grain back out. So that is something I'm going to have to figure out here in a couple of months, because I do believe it'll be December or January when we can sell the corn and the wheat, both. So we've got couple of months to figure it out, but not a whole lot of money to figure it out. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do to get the grain out of the bins. This could be a problem. All right, and with this, our harvest is officially finished. So we'll go ahead and get this combine put away here, and then we can come back, grab the tractor and the grain carts, get those emptied out, put away, and get started on our field cultivation and lime spreading and possibly fertilizing. But we got a lot to do. So we'll get to it here as quickly as we can. All right, well, I went ahead and hired up a worker over in our wheat field getting the lime spread. So we're going to go ahead and get all of our stalks baled up here, and then once they're done spreading lime, I'll hire up a worker on the cultivator, get that field cultivated, and start spreading lime on this big field. So we're already down to $59,000, and I'm more than likely going to have to take another loan. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to operate. So not thrilled about that, but also not a whole lot I can do about it either. Getting through these first couple of years is definitely going to be tough. So we're going to just do what we can, make the best out of the situation, and see what happens. So I'm playing on hard economy, so that's just going to make things that much harder, that much more difficult, and that much more of a challenge. But I do believe completely worth it in the end. So with us making these straw bales, I'm sure we're going to be able to probably sell some of these off that'll help a little bit, make a little bit of profit. And thankfully, lime is not all that expensive, all things considered. It's going to be the fertilizer that's going to be the most expensive. I'll spread whatever manure we can, but with only 20 head of cattle and only 4 horses, we're not going to be producing a whole lot of manure, unfortunately. So that just kind of is what it is. But we need to maximize yield as much as possible so we can keep our profits up. So as long as we do that, we will be fine. Probably, I'm hoping year 3. If not, it'll be year 4. We'll be finally actually turning a profit for this farm. All right, well, I got all the baling done. Got those all picked up. Gotten most of our fields limed. We've got one currently going. And as you can see, I've got a couple of contracts. One of them is mowing, one of them is plowing. I'm not sure what happened here. I picked up a stone picking contract. And as soon as I picked it up, it said completed for 110,000. So we're going to go ahead and collect that. And the plowing contract is 89,000. So we're going to go ahead and get that taken care of. As you can see, I've got store deliveries on. And I was running out of money. And I definitely wasn't going to be able to cover our loan cost until December. So I had to make a choice. And I have to go this way. Perfect. And I really, honestly didn't know what to do. I wanted to avoid contracts as much as possible because they're a bit cheaty, as you can see. But, you know, didn't really have a choice, so we're just going to go with it. I got a worker hired up on the mowing contract. And unfortunately, that mower doesn't fit into the old school that I'm trying to do here. So we're just going to let a worker take care of that and pretend like we're using our old mower. So unfortunately, this plow is a wee bit too big to go out of our fence. So we got to drive through the neighbor's field here. Hopefully they won't be too upset. But we'll get this over to the field, get this going. And this will get us for sure through until spring. And we can go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and do all the fertilizing this fall as well. Make sure that's all done. That way all we have to do is seed, spray, and watch the crops grow. So that's something I was also worried about is we don't have a sprayer yet. That is on my list of things to get, but we were running out of money so fast I didn't know what to do. So we're going to go ahead, get these couple of contracts done, and then hopefully not do another contract the rest of this series. At least that is my plan. So we'll get this stupid thing unfolded. It is ridiculously big, I get that. But we don't really have a choice, so I'm just going to hire up a worker on it and let him take care of it. Alright, well, while those 2 contracts are getting done by my AI workers, I'm going to go ahead and spread fertilizer. I went ahead and bought another 8,000 liters, and I had like 7,100, 7,200 liters still left over from a couple months ago, so we're going to go ahead and get all of our fields fertilized, and then we can go ahead and start cultivating afterwards. By the time we're done fertilizing, that plowing contract should hopefully be done and we can get to cultivating here. All right, we are done fertilizing all of our fields. The mowing contract got done. The plowing contract's not quite complete, but it is getting close. So we'll get this cart put away, and we can worry about getting that plowing done and getting our four-wheel drive back home so we can get our cultivating done yet this fall. All right, well, we finally got this contract complete. And I picked up another stone picking contract that was worth about 70 grand and got that done as well. So we're done doing contracts. We will never do a contract in this series again. And I'm very happy for that. I don't like doing contracts. So we will head back to the home place here, grab our cultivator, and start cultivating again. All right, I'll go ahead and get these 2 fields cultivated. And that should be it for the month of October here. All right, welcome into January, everyone. I've got the front hopper loaded with some wheat, got the back hopper loaded with all our corn, and we're going to go sell this off. So, we take a look at prices. Wheat is selling at the high at the grain sell point, and our corn is at the corn dryer. So, we're going to hit 2 different spots, and our straw is also ready to be sold this month, and that is at the bale sell point. So, January is going to be our month for selling everything, and we'll see how much money we make. So we're sitting at $250,000 at the moment. I'm hoping we make a pretty good profit here. We definitely need it. So I swung around, topped off our chickens with some wheat, and I still have about 17,000 liters of wheat in our grain bin so that we can make sure that we continue to feed our chickens and we don't run out and have to buy it. I leased this Wilson trailer because for some reason my gravity wagons won't trigger the load. I can't load them through from the grain bin. So we're just going to lease this trailer for now to get everything hauled into town. It's not exactly what I wanted to do, but I really didn't have a choice. So I'm guessing the gravity wagons just aren't quite tall enough to hit the trigger or something. I honestly have no idea. All right, well, we're here at the corn dryer. We'll go ahead and sell off our corn first. All right, we made $29,000. Not too bad. So I'm going to have to definitely get used to the pricing here. I'm not used to playing on the hard difficulty, so that makes things interesting. All right, we made a little over $10,000 with our wheat. So about $40,000 is what we made there, and we'll go ahead and sell off our straw bales and see how much we get there. I'm going to keep probably 7 or 8 straw bales, and I'll go ahead and sell the rest. All right, we're loaded up with straw bales. We'll take these to the bale sell point and see how much profit we get for these. It's not going to be much. Straw's not worth a whole lot. It's $49 per 1,000 liters right now, so that's not great. But we'll go ahead, get these sold off, and looks like we do have some eggs we can probably get sold off as well. All right, well, after waiting for the train, we're now ready to get pulled in here, if I can drive. Oh my god. Yep, right into the corner of the building. All right, we'll get swung in here. And I think this is our bale sell point. So we'll get backed up here. There we go. All right, made about $10,000. So that is everything to be sold this month. I'm going to double check the egg price. We don't have a whole lot of eggs, but we do have some. So I'll check that price, see what we can get for them, and maybe we'll sell those as well. All right, so we can also sell our milk. So I've got basically two pallets of eggs, and I've got 7,000 liters of milk, and we've got another 4,000 liters of milk I can pick up yet and get sold. So we're going to head to the dairy, get this milk sold, and then we'll head to the bakery and get rid of the eggs, and then reload with milk, sell it at the dairy again, and we'll officially be done selling all of our products and grain for this year. All right, we'll get swung into the dairy here. Get that milk sold off. So that was $5,300. All right, we're here at the bakery. So we should, if I drive over the right area. All right, we got another $2,200 for our eggs. So I'll go back, get the rest of the milk, and we'll get it sold for another couple $1,000, and we'll be pretty much right back to 300,000. So this trailer cost me 10 grand, and it worked out just fine. The straw basically paid for it, and that milk essentially paid for it also. So by the time we're all said and done, we're going to be sitting right at 300,000 to get us through this next year. All right, and that is the last of our milk. So yeah, right at $300,000, just like I said. So that is absolutely perfect. And that will be it for January. And I'll probably see you guys in March when I'm ready to start planting oats. All right, welcome into March, everyone. We got the 1086 hooked up to our seeder, and we're putting oats in the ground. So I went ahead, hired a worker to do that for me, and I'm going to go ahead, head back to the home place here, and we have grass that's ready to be mowed and turned into hay. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll hook up the 7210 up to the mower, and we'll get this grass field mowed. All right, got the 7210 hooked up here, and I'm going to go ahead, run all the headlands here, and then we'll cut the worker loose and see what they come up with. All right, and we are officially done planting our oats. So we'll go ahead and get this seeder put away in the shed. Or actually, we'll put it in the shop so we can do some maintenance and get it cleaned up. Then we'll put it in the shed. I'm also going to hook the tedder up to the 1086 here. And we'll get this hayfield tedded as it is done being mowed. And then we can go ahead and get this baled up. I did go ahead and buy a sprayer as well, so we need to get our oat field sprayed. Make sure that we don't have any weeds coming up. And then we need to get some baling done and get prepped and ready for next month when we can plant our soybeans and corn. So we've got plenty to get done here yet this month, so we'll get to it. All right, as you can see, I already got a worker hired up on our 1086, getting this hayfield tedded. And we're going to get this put away in the shop here so it can also be maintenanced and cleaned up. And then we'll jump in that sprayer, or well, in our 5488 that has a sprayer attached to it, and get our field sprayed. Like every series, I want to get the spraying done before the crops come up. That way there's never any weeds and we can maximize our yield, because we definitely need it. So we'll run over to the 5488 here and get to spraying. It's already loaded with herbicide. I've got a few totes of herbicide on my gooseneck trailer here. So we'll get this thing drug across the ditch and see. I'm not sure if this tractor is honestly going to have enough horsepower to really pull this sprayer. It obviously is doing it unfolded, not running, but we'll see what happens when I get on a side hill here. All right, well, we'll go ahead and get this field sprayed off. This won't take very long, and we'll be good to go. So I went with the big hardy sprayer because we do have some decent sized fields here, and it's just going to make spraying go a little bit faster, a little bit easier. And spraying's one of those things that I do enjoy. However, I don't want to have to make one pass and fill up every time. So this way we can at least get one field done and get the majority of our big fields done before we run out. All right, we got all the grass tedded. We got it all raked, so we're now ready to bale. So I've got the baler hooked up to the 7210. We'll go ahead, fire it up, drop it down, and we'll get all of these bales, or all of this hay, turned into bales here. See how many we end up with. All right, well, we got all of our baling done. We're just short on this bale. I could probably find enough that's still laying out here to get it, but I'm not going to worry about it for now. Definitely learned a lesson. The last update, I think it was last update or 2 updates ago, you now have to wait for that 3rd month for the grass, and I forgot about that, so that was not really worth it. We only ended up with 10 bales. It's not great, so we're going to definitely make sure that we wait next time before we mow our grass and turn it into hay, because we can't be running short on hay bales like that. That's definitely not good. So we'll go ahead and get all of those bales picked up here and get them put into our storage. Thankfully, we don't have a whole lot of animals, so it's not too big of a deal that we're short right now, but we definitely need to build stock because our horses and our cattle are going to start going through more hay here pretty soon. And as you can tell, I didn't unload any of my herbicide yet, so we also need to do that after I get all these bales picked up here. Alright, well, we got all the bales picked up here. Got them on the trailer for the most part. Not the best stack in the world, but it'll work. And I went ahead and hired up a worker to spread the dry fertilizer out here. Get this grass field fertilized and back up to par here. So we'll go ahead and get these bales unloaded into our bale storage and wait for the worker to finish, and I think that'll probably be it for the month of March. So overall, pretty good month. Got quite a bit accomplished here. And there we go. Oh, and apparently our herbicide chute unloaded in there. I didn't realize that was a thing. So we'll get the herbicide out of there. I guess it's probably bale and pallet storage. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 should be it. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get these loaded back up on the trailer and get these unloaded in our shop where they're supposed to be. Alright, and we're done with the fertilizing. So we'll go ahead and get this thing put away, and I will see you guys in April so that we can get to planting. Alright, welcome into April, everyone. It is now time to plant our soybeans and our corn. So we're going to go ahead and start off with planting our soybeans. We've got the planter hooked up to the 5488, and we're going to go ahead and get this field planted. And we'll go ahead and get this field planted. We're going to start out with our soybeans. This big field will be our soybeans this year. And our wheat field from last year will be our corn field. Alright, well, we got all of our soybeans planted. So now we need to get switched over to corn and get this field going. So we'll drop it down, fire it up, and we'll get this cornfield planted. Shouldn't take very long, and once we're done, we'll need to start spraying. So we'll get both of these fields sprayed. I need to double check our oat field, make sure I didn't miss anything when I sprayed it. But this planting is going pretty well. This tractor's slightly underpowered. Definitely struggling up hills a bit, but all in all, it's working out just fine. So we'll go ahead and get this field planted and move on to spraying. Well, our cornfield is now officially done being planted, so we're going to go ahead and put this planter in the shop. It'll need to be washed and maintenanced, and we need to get the soybean field and the cornfield both sprayed. So that's what we're going to do first, and then we'll worry about doing the maintenance and washing of all the equipment that we've used this spring. So we'll get this thing toted back to the shop. It did a pretty decent job. It was a little slow at times, but all in all, pretty happy with the setup. Well, we got the sprayer hooked up here, so we'll go ahead and get this field sprayed, and then we'll move down into our cornfield. And with that, we're done spraying both our corn and soybeans. So we can go ahead and get this sprayer put away. I still need to double check, actually. I need to double check my oat field quick. Alright, so the oat field looks good and clean. So we're not going to have to worry about spraying it this month. And we can get this put away. All of our animals are doing really, really well. We've had quite a few chickens born over the winter here and added to our chicken coop, so our egg production is ramping up a bit. And everybody else is happy, healthy, and doing absolutely perfect. So we'll get this sprayer cleaned up, put away. We should be done with it for the year. As we only need to spray once, and if you spray pre's, you never do get weeds. And I like that. I like not having to go out in the field and spray weeds after the crop's up. It definitely hurts your yield. So we'll get this thing put away, get everything cleaned up, all tractors and equipment put away, and I will see you guys probably in June. Well, we're going to go ahead and call this an episode. So if you guys like what you're seeing, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys in the next one.